Hello, welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the Recovery Plug. What's happening, everybody? I hope you guys are doing great today. I know that my day is going pretty good. I'm out here in the outdoors. It's a little windy, so I hope you can still hear me pretty good. But before we get this video podcast started, I guess, if you would please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer for the addict who still suffers, and for those of us who are still in the struggle that keeps us bound down. So if you would please, a moment of silence. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, wisdom to know the difference. Alrighty, well, check this out. What we're going to do today is we're going to continue on with the reading of The Cosmic Power Within You, this book right here. You know, we've been reading a chapter, here and there throughout the last, week and a half or so, and we're up to chapter 12. How about that? And so this chapter here is titled How to Get What You Go After. And I'm going to get these glasses on here so that I can read this thing. If you would please give me a second. And I'm going to leave these other things on because it's kind of sunny out here. But anyway, here we go. Might look a little weird, but it's okay. Okay, here we go. Chapter 12, How to Get What You Go After. Desire is the gift of God, or the cosmic power seeking expression through you. When you are hungry, the life principle supplies you with a desire for food in order to preserve you. When thirsty, you desire water. When cold, you build a fire. When sick, you desire health. The limitless cosmic one within you does not desire to express itself in any form of limitations. The desire urges, intimations, and promptings of your deeper mind are always lifeward, urging you to arise, to transcend, to grow, and to manifest your desire for health, happiness, prosperity, and true expression. And the fulfillment of your ideals, dreams, and aspirations. Desire is the goad which pushes onward, upward, and Godward. Men who had strong desires and powerful ambitions to get what they want went after and to achieve their goals in life. Made America what it is today, the greatest industrial nation in the world. For instance, Henry Ford desired to build an automobile. Then he had another desire still greater than the first, which was to put the whole world on wheels. The attainment of his desire gave employment to millions of people all over the world and blessed humanity in countless ways. Desire is the beginning of its realization, is the end and the solution to your problem. Failure to realize your desire is the cause of frustration, unhappiness, and illness. To continue desiring to reach your goal morning, noon, and night over a prolonged period of time, yet failing to get what you go after, brings chaos and confusion into your life and is the cause of endless suffering, mental, emotion, and physical. Goes on in the next section titled, You Create Your Own Destiny. The Bible says, choose you this day whom you will serve. Joshua 24:15. You can choose right now to mold, fashion, and to create a wonderful future. Your thought and feeling control your destiny. Emerson said, man is what he thinks all day long. And the Bible says, a man thinketh in his heart, so he is he. Proverbs 23:7. The word heart is in the Bible. The word heart in the Bible is an old Chaldean word, meaning the subconscious mind, all of which means that whatever thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and impressions you have made or have permitted others to impregnate your mind with have a life of their own in your deeper mind, and they dictate, control, and manipulate all your conscious actions. In other words, and in utter simplicity, what is impressed in your subconscious mind is also expressed outwardly in form, function, experience, and event. Over 100 years ago, Dr. Phineas Parker Quimby said, man is belief expressed. And it's your future, therefore, is your present habitual thinking projected on the multidimensional screen of space. In other words, it is your present thought and belief made manifest. Your future is your present thought patterns grown up. And this is accomplished in the same way as a field reproduces a harvest in consonance with the seeds deposited therein. All seeds' thoughts grow after their kind. The next section is titled, How a Tremendous Increase in a Business Was Achieved. A businessman who visited me and asked me how he should pray about his business said, everything is going wrong. I am going to be a failure. Everything is against me. Business is bad and the worst is yet to come. I explained to him that he could reverse the entire situation by changing his thought patterns and keeping them changed. After reflecting on my advice, he began to realize that he had been actually creating the conditions of he feared, because his subconscious mind was constantly reproducing his habitual thinking. And I further pointed out to this businessman that he could attain success, prosperity, and inner peace, or any other good thing in life he felt entitled to, provide only that he would pay the mental price by incorporating into his subconscious mind the equivalent of it. Accordingly, every morning when he opened his eyes, he affirmed boldly, today is God's day. I choose happiness, success, prosperity, and peace of mind. I am divinely guided all day long, and whatever I will do prosper. Wherever my attention wanders away from my thoughts of success, peace, prosperity, or my good, I will immediately bring back my thoughts to the contemplation of God and His love, knowing that He careth for me. I am a spiritual magnet, attracting to myself customers who want what I have to offer. I give better service every day. I am a wonderful success in all my undertakings. I bless and prosper all those who come into my store. All these thoughts are now sinking into my subconscious mind, and they come forth in the abundant security and peace of mind. It is wonderful. He started using the above prayer each morning and night. And before the end of the month, I received the following letter from him. Dear Dr. Murphy, this is a thank you letter to let you know how much I got from the interview I had with you some weeks ago. I know now that I have right to anything that would be good for me, or that would make me healthier, happier, and more successful and more useful. I had never thought that the desire for success, prosperity, and advancement was the urge of the divine presence in me, telling me that the time has come for me to take a step up the ladder of life. Now I know that the will of God or life for me is to move forward, to conquer, to rise, and to achieve great things along all lines. I am grateful for your emphasis on the truth that of one of the things holding me back was that I thought I had the right to something that belonged to someone else. I know now that it is dead wrong to infringe on the rights of others or to covet their goods or prosperity or wealth. I fully realize that God can give me all the wealth, happiness, success, and opportunities in life without infringing upon the rights of anyone else. I have paid the price by constantly dwelling on my prayer you gave me, and I have noticed a big increase in business, and I feel happier and much more cheerful over my desk. I have placed a beautiful printed card, in all the ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3:6. The price I paid was mental acceptance and application on these truths and remaining faithful to them. The next story is titled, He Stopped Blaming Faith and Achieved Promotion and Financial Increase. Some months ago, while staying at the Kona Inn at my favorite resort on the Big Island of Hawaii, I chatted with a man by the swimming pool in a lovely spot. This is the gist of what he said to me. I came here for a week to get away from it all. My life is a daily grind. I get nowhere even though I work hard. I am bored and jaded, and life for me is monotonous. I eat, sleep, work, and look at TV. I hate my work. There is a cruel fate holding me back, for I try so hard and yet can't make ends meet. I gathered in conversing with this man that he actually had borrowed the money from his sister in San Francisco in order to have a week's vacation. I said to him that I would give him a simple, down-to-earth, practical formula that would completely turn the wheel of fortune and enable him to acquire wealth, success, happiness, and the full realization of his ambitious life. He listened avidly of the meaning of whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. This means that if you plant thoughts of lack, limitation, strife, bitterness, sickness, poverty, and contention, you shall reap accordingly. You must remember that your subconscious mind is like the soil. It will grow whatever type of seed, thoughts, and mental imagery that you plant in the garden of your mind. You sow thoughts when you believe them wholeheartedly to be true, and it is what you believe down deep in your heart that you demonstrate for yourself and the world. That this man had studied Emerson's philosophy in college, yet he had never understood it. He merely read it as literature. Emerson wrote in his essays of faith. He, man, thinks his faith alien because the copula connection is hidden. But the soul's subconscious mind contains the event that shall befall it. For the event is only the actualization of its thought, and what we pray to ourselves for is always granted. This event is the print of your form. It fits you like your skin. This is the formula I gave this man to use morning, noon, and night. And it goes like this: God is my partner, and within me is the cosmic power to overcome any condition I was born to win, to succeed, and to conquer. I find a great thrill in mastering difficult assignments. My joy is the overcoming and getting what I go after without infringing in any way whatsoever on the rights of others. Neither do I want others to do that which they would not want to do to me. I know that the cosmic presence within me can and does give me all the happiness and opportunity I need without interfering with another person's rights. I am now in touch with the eternal source of all supply and of all good, and the divine presence, it bringeth me peace, happiness, joy, success, prosperity, and full expression through divine and legitimate channels. God shows me the path. I trust the divine intelligence within me, and I am divinely directed and guided to my true expression in life and to fulfill my heart's desires. I wrote this prayer for him by the pool and explained that as he affirmed these truths consciously and with deep abiding faith, that he would sink down by osmosis to his subconscious mind, and the latter being one of the most, within the cosmic power of boundless wisdom, would compel him to take all steps necessary for the fulfillment of his dreams, and that he would get legitimately and through a divine way whatever he was going after in life. This young man discovered that he was not a victim of cruel fate, neither was he condemned to live a life of mediocrity, poverty, or miserable conditions. He broke loose mentally from false ideas and beliefs which had held him in thraldom and bondage. The following letter from San Francisco attests to his complete mental transformation. And it goes like this: Dear Dr. Murphy, I was glad to talk to you in Kona. I had never heard much about the subconscious mind and its powers. I have followed the formula you wrote out for me. I apply it 3 times daily, and when negative thoughts come to me, I immediately reverse them. I have discovered that what you told me is true, that negative thoughts have gradually lost their momentum, and I am now a constructive thinker. I am now attending a course in business management, and I am also brushing up my Spanish 3 evenings a week at the university. I have been promoted to assistant manager, and I have received $50 a week increase in salary. I am on the way up. I am also studying the power of your subconscious mind and find it a treasure house of knowledge. Thanks, T.I. The next story goes on, entitled How a Salesman Broke the Blocks of Closing Sales. A few months ago, I received a letter from a man in New York City in which he stated that whenever he was about to bring a deal to the point of completion, the door seemed to jam tightly and everything would collapse at the 11th hour. This has happened time and time when he is supposed to have the prospective client sign the dotted line. Suddenly the client becomes ill, or his wife dies, or he meets with an accident. There is a definite appointment at an office and the meeting falls through for various reasons, such as fog delaying or the plane, or sudden illness or failure, or different people to show up. He asked what he could do to remove the block. The block is the man suffered was his false belief which dominated his mind. He feared a reoccurrence of these episodes in his life, and what he feared most he experienced in episodes. In other words, it was done unto him as he believed in every tangible form. In my letter to him, I pointed out the way to harmony, success, and prosperity was within himself. He did not have to beg, supplicate, or beseech God. All he had to do was change the stream of his mental thought and imagery. I emphasized that the affirmations I was about to write for him possessed their value only because of his thought and understanding of the laws of his mind behind them. That he could, for example, recite Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and still have little or no understanding of the true meaning of Americanism. Following my directions, he reversed his mind as follows. And it goes like this. I know that there is only one mind which created all things, and my mind is one with that cosmic mind. I meditate on my inseparable oneness with the cosmic mind power, and without strain or stress or any great mental effort, I let my thoughts and mental images sink into my deeper mind. I am quiet in the assurance that these thoughts will return fabricated and manifested by the cosmic mind who created the universe. I know God is the cosmic mind power, which is the reality of me. My work is God's work, for God works through me, and my work cannot be hindered or delayed. The cosmic mind power that created all things finished whatever it created. My work goes through to completion in divine order. All that is set out to do reaches its fruition. I entertain only those thoughts that make the highest happiness, peace of mind, and achievement. The prayer above affirmed the sincerity and deep understanding on the way his mind worked, brought about complete change. He reversed the so-called block, and now closing sales and moving forward in faith and confidence to greater and greater usefulness and accomplishments in life. The next story goes, what you can conceive, you can achieve. And it goes like this. An engineer in London, England once said to me some years ago, when I first started, I failed miserably in 3 assignments given to me. My supervisor said to me, you are fearing failure and you expect failure. If it is what you really expect deep down in your heart, then you experience. This is the turning point in my life. I completely changed my mental attitude. I admitted to myself that I had faith in failure, not in success, and getting things done. From that moment on, I had faith in success. My motto became anything I can conceive and believe possible I can achieve. My new attitude is the reason behind my being the director of the engineering firm. I would suggest that you inscribe in your heart the engineer's quotations, anything I can conceive and believe possible I can achieve. This engineer began to realize that there was an almighty power within him, the cosmic giver of all gifts, which he could tap. He began to find the answers of power and wisdom to accomplish things which he previously had believed to be hopeless. He looked forward to achievement, victory, and triumph, and his faith became contagious. All the men working under him likewise became imbued with the idea of success and triumph, and they also accomplished great things. The engineer's Bible quotation is, every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. Make it straight in the desert and highway of our God. Isaiah 43:4. And that, my folks, is chapter 12. Man, what a good chapter. That chapter was really had a bunch of good insight. I for me personally, when I listened to that, I'm going to go back and just kind of recite something from the very first part of the thing here, and it says, "Desires is the gift of God or cosmic power seeking expression through you. When you are hungry, the life principle supplies you with the desire for food in order to preserve you. When you're thirsty, you desire water. When cold, you build a fire. When sick, you desire health. The limitless cosmic one within you does not desire to express itself in any form of limitation." And that right there, the limitless cosmic one within you does not desire to express itself in any form of limitations. And that is I believe, one of the things that people today tend to, that's how they think. They think in a limit form of mentality. You know what I mean? And when you think in a limit form of mentality, man, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're limiting your anything that you are trying to do in your life, anything that you think, anything that you physically want to do or intellectually want to gain, or anything like that. You're setting a limit to it. You know what I mean? And how many times have we heard, oh, well, the bar is set here. So, to me, if a bar is set, then you're only trying to attain things up to that point. And why limit yourself when you have the ability to do and to grasp and to move your life in just a vast, way that is just, like the sky behind me. You know what I mean? It's limitless. You know what I mean? Why not think that way? Why not think that, man, you know what? I can do whatever. I can think whatever. I can be whatever. And think in that form instead of limiting yourself to mediocrity. You know what I mean? Because when you're living in a sense of mentality of mediocrity, to me, that means that you're living your life in a sense of fear, number one, because now you are afraid to move past that bar. You know what I mean? And when you start living your life in a sense of fear, which a lot of people in this world do, they think, that they have that thought process of, oh, well, I don't think I'm smart enough, or I don't think that I'm capable of doing that, or guys, that's too much responsibility, or I'm not good enough, or that would never happen for me. When you have a mental thought process like that, that is the limit. That's the setting a limit. And why not think limitless? You know what I mean? Why not think like, what, man, I can do whatever I want. I can be, all I need is to follow the cosmic power of my divine power. You know what I mean? And all those stories that I read, all those people just figured out that they're one with that, because you are one with the cosmic power of the universe. You know what I mean? We're all one and the same. So we all share that same, limitless type of living or thinking or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because if your divine power, if your God, for me, it's my God, right? And my God doesn't want me to just be a little bit of Him. He wants me to be all of Him. You know what I mean? And in order to do that, it's a lifestyle, a disciplined lifestyle. You know what I mean? And we all live in a structured environment. But how about, instead of getting up and saying that you got to go to work and say, man, I hate going to work today, or I dread to go. How about I say, you know what, I'm excited to go because I know the things that I'm going to do at work are going to help somebody else, because those are, you know, my brothers and sisters through my higher power. You know what I mean? Thinking in that sort of way is a whole lot better than limiting yourself, because if you say, well, if you don't want to go to work because you're tired or whatever, now you're setting you're setting this limit to you. I can't wait till 3:30 so I can go back home. You know what I mean? Why not say, man, I can't. I'm excited to go. I want to go. I got to do this. You know, it's just whatever it is that you're doing in life, or whatever it is that has you, you know, in this little maybe funk, or you have this sort of adversity that you're going through, whatever it may be. Whether, you know, you can put every scenario in this thing is to be limitless in everything that you do and the way you think. You know what I mean? And it starts, you know, with doing positive things. When you think positive things and you allow positive things to come into your mental process, your mental thought process, if you keep feeding yourself that stuff, well, then guess what? You'll eventually be that stuff. How amazing is that? You know what I mean? Now, if you keep feeding yourself all this negativity, well, then guess what? Those are the actions that are going to come out of what you're doing in your life. So, if you continue to do things on a repetitive basis and have them be spiritual and positive and you know, for the greater good, right? And when you do that stuff, that's the kind of things that you're going to start projecting out into your life. Those are the kind of things that you're going to start attracting. And you'll start attracting good love. You'll start attracting, you know, success in relationships, and your job, and in your overall health, and your overall life. You know what I mean? And it's just great. It's great to think that way, man. So I guess that's going to be it for today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that chapter 12, man. It was really great, I thought. And I hope there's not too much wind noise. I don't know how the video is going to turn out, but this is going to be the video, so I'm going to have to live with it. And but, you know, I always like to sometimes get this whole background thing here. This is one of my favorite ones to come and do, is just to have the limitless sky out here, man. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, so I guess at this time, if you would please give me a thumbs up, maybe hit that subscribe button and share my channel. And just know that when you do that, it doesn't cost you a thing, but you will be helping out another veteran, another homeless person, another person dealing with PTSDs, childhood traumatic experiences, drug addiction, alcoholism, you know, anger issues, depression, suicidal thoughts, all of those types of things, my friends, because I have dealt with all those things at one point in time in my life, and I know there's a way out, man. And I am, that's why I share the stories, because that's how I got out, by learning from other people's, you know, stories and their adventures and the things that they've gone through. So you know, the whole point of me doing this is to, you know, to share the message, right? And in turn there to try to help somebody to come over here on this side of the realm of positivity, spirituality, and recovery, man, because it's great. And at any rate, thank you for watching the video today. I really appreciate it. I guess until the next time, when the smoke clears, I am, from way up here in the sky, the Recovery Plug.